name's Cameron from Etani, and today we're going to show some forecasting in Power BI. I want to show you the actual forecasting that you can do yourself in Power BI with what Power BI has created for you, but also show you the template as well, which you can use. So there's two different types of forecasting that you can use. So paint the picture, as always, this is Old Man Online Clothing, demo company that we use for everything. They sell shoes, socks, belts, pants, etc. online across every state in Australia. There's about 200, maybe 186 invoices in the system, but over the past 2.5 financial years. So that's just what we use for illustration purposes. XYZ Chartered Accountants is the demo accounting firm that we use. So you would tip Old Man Online Clothing into your content management system. And I won't go through in detail again, but I obviously have done this in detail previously, but you would link up the Xero account, okay, with your own database. So in goes the data, so you get that sync every hour updating the Xero organization. So you've got live data streaming into Power BI. So let's come into Power BI, and here you're looking at a 30-day moving average of Old Man Online Clothing, okay? So the reason we do forecasting on a 30-day moving average, you can do 60 or 90 or whatever you want, but the point is you need to have data points every day. And so obviously if you look at sales over the year, some businesses might have daily transactions, some might not. So you just smooth it out with the 30-day moving average. So as we can see here with Old Man Online Clothing, they obviously have big sales in not January, in December, because it's Christmas time. Okay, so I just want to show you what you can do if we come to the line graph and we come into this analytics pane. There's lots of different trend. You can do trend lines, min and max and average lines, but we are doing forecasting today. So we're adding the forecast line. We're going to do a 12-month forecast. Okay. And all that, so the confidence interval. So the seasonality is the 365 data points, which I was just talking to you about. You've got to smooth it out with the 30-day moving average. So if we apply that, as you can see, it just spits out this forecast. Now, this is the technology behind this is Power BI related. It's called exponential smoothing for anyone out there remembering their uni days, the 95% confidence intervals that we used to have to do. And it basically is looking for outliers. It's looking for trends in the data over the past 2.5 financial years to test it, because obviously all businesses aren't, always reliable on a trend from previous financial years. You can go to 14 months and actually ignore the last 2 months of the year and actually see. So this actually shows you here. This green line is actual, and here is what Power BI's exponential smoothing thought. So they completely unpredicted how far the sales were going to drop. I mean, this is obviously a demo company, so it's unrealistic to say that it's inaccurate, but that's what happened. So here in this example, you would say, okay, forecasting using this model is not really appropriate for this business, but it might be appropriate for other businesses. Okay, so let's move on to some advanced forecasting, some more detailed forecasting of what you can do. So what I've done here is I've just set up some slices here, a forecast high and a forecast low. I've gone from 0 to 50% on each end. And so the equation is actually quite simple. You come to your forecast for high. So the forecast on a high side is total sales last year times by 1 plus your forecast amount. So at the moment it's 20%. So that basically it's saying what was the sales last year, and times it by 1.2, times it by 20%, increase total sales by last year by 1.2, and same here is -2. So essentially then it's dynamic. We can move this around. We move it up to 30% and everything jumps. So that forecast there, you can actually go all the way up. If we put up to 47%, jumps all the way up to whatever, that 3.5 million. So it's a big jump. So the point I'm making here is that because we're doing it on sales from last year, it's all connected to the model. So that means that you can start slicing and dicing this forecast based on any other data that you have in the system. So you might have, for example, account codes. So if we literally come here and copy paste this one and bring in some more slices, and I'm going to turn that into a different type of slicer and grab our account codes, for example. Account codes might be something that you might want to work with. We'll tip that in there. And here are all of your accounts. So casual pants and shirts, etc. See, it's all adjusting. So that's obviously dropped down. The forecast has dropped down because that's only the forecast for those 2 items. You can keep going on that. All of the items that you've got as part of your model, I can literally come here and say, I know for a fact that I'm using tracking categories at regional level. So I can actually tip in my regions, South Australia, etc. So that comes into the model. Now I can actually click on SA, and it actually gives me a forecast. So as you can see here, this green line is forecasting 47% on last year's sales, and actual sales is nearly reaching that. It's actually quite close. What this is just saying is that South Australia is performing at a really high level. You can take Victoria out, or we can go to New South Wales. So we go to New South Wales and tip these two out, and what that shows is that New South Wales is underperforming. It's actually dropping. It's almost, so what that's saying is New South Wales is 19% under budget on last year's, or under the forecast measures. Anyway, that's a bit of forecasting for you. I hope you enjoyed it. We're going to show you some cash flow analysis next with Power BI. It's just so incredible what you can do with this, and look forward to talking to you soon. Cheers.